Hello and welcome to KPN News. In KPN News today, I want to explain to you what will determine who wins the presidential election in Kenya this year. And in this case, I am not talking about the personalities. I am not talking about Raila Amolo Odinga. I am not talking about William Ruto. In this case, I am talking about the agendas. I'm talking about what should either William Ruto or Raila Amolo Odinga or any other presidential candidate this year must deal or sell to Kenyans so that he or she can be elected. According to me, I have some like 10 areas in which a serious presidential candidate should focus on. And before I go into the 10 issues, then I'm requesting, if you are watching this channel for the first time, please subscribe, like the video, share the video, and even give the thumbs up the video. And before I dive into all the 10 items, then I want to thank the subscribers. We are heading to 150. Please come up. Subscribe by just clicking that red button. And I want to tell you that subscribing is free. You will not incur any cost at all. Now let us dive into the 10 areas, shall we? Number one is any candidate who is serious about winning the presidency this year must tell Kenyans what he will do in terms of corruption, how he or she will fight corruption. Remember, President Uhuru Kenyatta said one time that Kenya is losing about 2 billion every day. If you calculate that one, that is around 780 billion by year. That is enough for current expenditure. So any serious presidential candidate should tell us how he or she will fight corruption. I have not seen any serious candidate who I can say he is fighting or he intends to fight corruption. The front runners, William Ruto and Raila Odinga, I am not seeing them talking anything about corruption. So any serious candidate should talk about corruption in this country. That is the disease, that is the cancer which kills this country, corruption. Number two is youth employment. Any serious candidate who wants to win the presidency this year must talk about the youth. What will he or she do to the youth? Youth nowadays has one problem, and that problem is unemployment. Majority of the youth, somebody is finishing university, comes home, no job, no internship, no anything. So the youth are really a center of attention. So the youth should be given the required attention by these presidential candidates. If he or she is not talking about the youth, then he or she should also forget about being elected. Remember, 60% of Kenyans are the youth. So if they decide to vote in one candidate, then you are rest assured that the other candidate will lose. I have seen William Ruto talking about the youth. I am happy about it. But he must tell us how he will make sure that this youth he is talking about are employed. We don't want to see a scenario where he's just talking, mere talking. We need the real action. We need this youth to be employed. So any serious candidate should tell the youth what he will do for them in case he or she is elected to be the 5th president of the Republic of Kenya. Anything short of that, then that guy should forget about youth voting for him or her. Number 3 is the Kenyan debt. Wow. Me and you knows very well that the Kenyan debt is ballooning. It is mind-boggling. Kenyan debt is a whooping 9 point something trillion against a GDP of 1.7. We collect every year 1.7 trillion. In fact, we have a shortage. That is why National Assembly always does what we call supplementary budget, because what we collect is less than what we spend. So any serious presidential candidate should focus on how to reduce the debt, how to remove Kenyans from the serious debt given to us by China or the Chinese. So he or she should talk about how he will reduce the debt. This country, debt ceiling has been skyrocketing. These guys are borrowing like no man's business. Kenya now has borrowed around, I'm told, more than 9.7 trillion. And the National Assembly has again extended the national debt ceiling to around 11 trillion. So if you do your calculation very well, you will see that if you say 11 trillion, 9 trillion divided by 40 million Kenyans, even the unborn children are still going to be in debt. We shall pay these things now until the next generation. So any serious candidate should talk about it, how to reduce Kenyan debt. Number 4 is economy. Here, when I am saying economy, any serious candidate should talk about economy. How will he improve Kenyan economy? We have been stagnating because of COVID-19 and the rest. So any serious candidate should talk about the economy. How will we reform the economy? How will we accelerate industrial growth in Kenya? How will we accelerate manufacturing? Provide a good working environment for the businessmen and women. Investors comes to a country if the economy is thriving. If it's not thriving, that there is no investor who will come into that country. Kenya is a good hub for business, but the problem is what you call taxation. I will talk about taxation later. So any serious candidate should talk about economy. How will he improve the lives of Kenyans? How will we have money in our pockets? How will we improve our lives? And so on and so forth. Number 5 is taxation. This country, for every item in this country, we are being taxed. We have been taxed heavily. Fuel, gas, any electricity. You and you know the pains we go through when paying electricity, fuel, food, and the rest. So taxation, any serious candidate should talk about how to reduce tax. Nowadays, we used to buy a loaf of bread at 50 bob. Nowadays, 60, 70. We used to buy sugar at 1 kg around 70. Now we buy 140. So taxation is very high. So any serious candidate should talk about taxation, how to reduce taxation, how to reduce the tax imposed upon Kenyans. It should reduce tax. Another one is medical services. What is ailing this country is what we call medicinal services. Our hospitals must be well equipped. Any candidate who wants to be the president of the Republic of Kenya should talk about how he will make sure Kenyans will access good quality health services. All the hospitals, dispensaries must be supplied with enough drugs, enough doctors, enough nurses, so that we can be like other countries like Cuba and the rest. So any serious case you talk about health services. And I want to say something about NHIF. I think the NHIF is not working. Really, it is not working. It is just a way of siphoning money from Kenyans. Because if NHIF is really working, then Kenyans should not be requesting for any support, because 500 per month is enough to treat someone, because it is an insurance. In an event you get sick, you go there, be treated and come. But nowadays you have the NHIF, you will still go and pay again in the hospitals. What is that? So any serious candidate should talk about NHIF. Let us put NHIF, give NHIF to be in counties, so that governors can really handle NHIF services, so that every county should have an NHIF board or management, and the residents from that county pays NHIF to the county government, so that in any case he or she falls sick, then he directly goes to the hospitals in those counties and even other counties and access services. Not like paying 500 but there is no quality services. So any serious candidate should talk about medical services. Another one is Kenya-Somalia maritime dispute. Me and you knows very well that Kenya and Somalia has a dispute which was not settled. Somalia took Kenyans to ICJ, International Court of Justice, and later on Kenya withdrew from the proceedings, and that is why we still have that border dispute. So any candidate should come tell Kenyans how he will resolve that one. That is a humongous issue to deal with in terms of international relationship. How will he handle international relationship? For example, this is Kenya and Somalia. How will he handle that dispute between Kenya and Somalia, that maritime dispute? Another is what we call education. Any serious candidate for the president of the Republic of Kenya should tell us about the education. How will he handle education? Education in Kenya is in a shamble. It is shambolic. It is precarious. We are at CBC, we are at 844. And I have seen Fort Kenya party leader Moses Wetangula saying that CBC is another monster. I agree with him. So any presidential candidate should tell us whether we will really be completely in CBC or 844, because some parents are confused here. CBC only benefits those happen schools. Is CBC benefiting a child in Turkana? Really? A child in Pokot? I don't think so. We should refocus or rethink about CBC. Any candidate should talk about it seriously, because we need to be sure, are we going 844 way or CBC way? Because Kenyans are confused, parents are confused, the kids are confused, teachers are confused, all the stakeholders in the education sector are confused about the two. We need to know which one will we focus on, because we will have a president who will serve maybe for the next 10 years. So we want to know what he or she thinks about the education system in this country. Next is about farming, drought, and agriculture. Any serious presidential candidate should tell us about farming, drought, and agriculture. Remember, drought is ravaging the northeastern, Turkana, and the rest parts of the country. People are dying, livestock's dying, people don't have food. Remember, agriculture is developed. So maize farmers are crying in Rift Valley. Tea farmers, coffee farmers are crying in Mount Kenya region. Livestock farmers are crying in Masai, Narok, Samburu, and the rest. They are crying because famine, drought, and how will this presidential candidate handle these national or natural disasters? He or she must come up clearly and tell us what he will do, because we need to have enough food, because people are going hungry. We don't have food, don't have water. In fact, the Kenyan government should have a food reserve which contains enough bags of maize, bags of sugar, and the rest, so that in any case, anywhere, any part of this country experience drought and famine, the government should swiftly go there, distribute food so that people cannot die. We don't want to see the pictures we are seeing in televisions about somebody going for 10 days without eating anything. That's a serious case. Finally, the last one is about senior citizens. Senior citizens are those citizens which are over 70 years. They don't have anybody to depend on. They depend on government welfare to give them the 3,000 they are giving them, and pensioners receive their pension. So government should tell them how he will, this presidential candidate will tell them how he will handle those things, because it must be handled very well, because these senior citizens are vulnerable in the society. I don't know what you think about those areas, but if you are watching this channel for the first time, please subscribe and share the videos. Thank you very much, and God bless you.